Hello, everyone. It's another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Boland. Thank you all for joining me. You're probably wondering why I'm grinning right now. I'm grinning because we're going to keep this rolling. We're going to keep this going. I see a very, very, very interesting trend, and may I dare say dangerous trend. Well, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the new Archie comic book coming out. Well, I think they changed one of the characters to it was a female character into a male. So here, once again, transgenderism is being pushed again. Here we go. It's all over the place. See, you can't say something's not going on. It would be hard to argue. Well, they just want equal rights for. No. Let's get into this article. Yeah. We gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep this going. So it says, continuing his walk down the ultra woke path, Archie Comics is now announcing the introduction of a new transgender character. And let me say this up front. I many years ago when I was a teenager, I read some of the Archie comics. I would glance through them every now and then, but I was more into the Swamp Thing because the Swamp Thing looked creepy and it was scary, and I was a horror fan as I am now. So I really wasn't much of a fan of Archie comics in any way, but I used to glance through some of them, read a few pages, whatever, but I really wasn't in. So I really don't know the characters, okay? So let me just put that out there up front for anyone that may say, well, what you trying to criticize it for? I'm not criticizing a comic. Come on, man, be realistic. I'm not criticizing a comic. I hate when people do that. Well, you say you never read the comic. I'm not talking about the comic. You know what I'm about to talk about. Let's be sensible here. So, but let me put that out there. I haven't read the comic, wasn't a real fan of the comics, but I want to point to a trend that I see going on big time. It's been going on for quite some time, but I'm seeing this more and more and more now. It's increasing in intensity. Gee, I wonder why. Let's go on. In an upcoming issue of its offshoot line, Archie Horror, whatever the heck that's supposed to be, the company is set to introduce a brand new, quote, transgender woman character named Danny Molly, according to an exclusive sneak peek published by Gizmodo. These weird names. While the gender angle is new, the Molly character itself is not exactly new. The character was first introduced in the 1980s and was portrayed as a sometimes girlfriend to Riverdale's resident genius, Dilton Doley. But now for issue number 1 of Archie Horror's new comic, Chilling Adventures Presents Strange Science, Molly will be retconned as, quote, a transgender woman. Why? I wonder what the fans of Archie Comics feel about this. The entire purpose of this one-off comic book, which is set for release in August, is to erase Molly as a woman and recreate the character as a man who now identifies as a female. Not mentioned in the advancing gushing over the book is whether scientist character Dilton Dolly will now be portrayed as gay or if he was duped by Molly, since the character has dated Molly in past issues of the Archie series. I've been wanting to make this happen for a long time, and it's really cool to see it finally come to fruition. I've never wanted Danny's trans identity to be gimmicky or for her to feel like she was only created to be trans. Oh, you're very creative. You're very creative. Thank you for being so diversified in that. Come on, man. So I'd like to apologize for sneaking her over the line like this, the writer of Archie Horror's series, Jinx Grimm Fairy Tales. I'm not going to even pronounce the name of this person. Magdalene, that's her first name, but I don't know. I wanted you to have a chance to fall in love with her for who she is, not what she is. How many people going to fall in love with what she is? Are you serious? I'm honored I got to make it happen, and I'm grateful to Archie for never, not even once, pushing back on my insistence on making their books a little bit more queer. This writer added, Archie Comics Senior Director of Editorial, Jamie L. Ratani, insisted that the new book is, quote, one of, if not the most important one-shots we've released. Really? Hey man, look, you the ones writing this book. You guys know the revenue. You know the history. I don't. Okay. But yeah, but I think something's going on here. That's all thanks to writer, whoever her name is, who had the idea to have Danny Molly tell her own story about her transition. We just needed to figure out the best way to make it fit, and a call back to her character's classic origins mixed with the new horror surroundings she's been reintroduced in just made the most sense. She gushed, Rotana Grush. Okay, now, those of you that read this, maybe you know, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But I think this transgender stuff is new. Okay. Retrofitting Molly to erase her womanhood in favor of transgenderism is far from the first woke story Archie has indulged. Now, here's the part that's interesting. It says back in 2010, America's favorite teenagers introduced a gay character in a story entitled, quote, "Isn't It Bromatic?" Bromatic. Because in the company's reckoning at the time, quote, Riverdale has to reflect the diversity of the world today. The next year, the comic series held a same-sex wedding ceremony in which the character, Kevin, married his boyfriend. We all want to be part of a family and community. That's what marriage is about, Kevin said in the comic. Gay people share the same dreams. The gay characters went on in other issues, even being shown kissing later on. Then by 2014, a book featuring an adult Archie portrayed the character being shot and killed while trying to, quote, protect a gay friend from haters. Right? In this series, the older Archie actually dies, though the death did not alter any of the series that still feature Archie as a teenager. End of article. That's all she wrote. Wow. Wow. Let me just start off. I'm going to reintroduce what I said earlier. I was never a Archie Comics fan. I really wasn't a comic person, period. I mean, I had a friend of mine who gave me a bunch of comic books. It was like a big box full of them. I forget how many. It had to be like, I don't know, 100 maybe. They ended up getting messed up and sold. I ended up sold up, and I ended up having to throw them away, which was really, really bad because I could have got some money for them, you know. But yeah, but I wasn't into you know, Archie comic things. So I don't know the history. I don't know what kind of characters that they really had at the time. The article talks about here that it mentions in 2010 that we had these characters being introduced, you know, being created to push the gay situation. But other prior to that, I really don't know, man. I really don't know. But what is going on? Is this about equal rights for LGBT? Is this about equal rights for the gay community? Is this about equal rights for transgenderism? Think about this. Before, it was all about equal rights, right, for gay people. That's what it was all about, even though many critics challenged that whole assertion, okay? There's bigger than equal rights, and I can go all day about that because there's so much going on. It's bigger than that. You know, many believe, as I do, that there's a push to try to get everyone to be that way for different various reasons that I mentioned in the previous video, but there's another story, and I digress. You can go to that video and listen to that video, and I give you my reasonings for that. But here's the deal. The deal is, in the past, it was always about equal rights for gays, right? Now there's such an intensive push for transgenderism, which could fall in the same category, okay? There's such an intensive push for transgenderism, okay? Not just LGBTQ, not just gay men and gay women, you know, there's this transgender thing being pushed. And here's the thing, and this is I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this, because all the stuff that I've been studying and all the stuff that I've been watching and being spiritually aware of what's going on and being aware of history and so forth, what eventually I think is going to happen is that once they get past transgenderism becoming normal, the new normal, it isn't the new normal right now because a lot of people are resisting it, okay? But if people break down and say, okay, we accept it, whatever, you guys, okay, whatever, Okay, and it becomes a new normal, and they walk around and they doing everything everybody else is doing. Okay, going every place other people go. Being treated like women when they're not biologically women, being treated like men when they're not biologically men. When it becomes the new normal, then the next agenda, the next deviant sexual agenda will be PEDO, and yeah. That will be the next agenda on the platform. And then once that becomes normalized, then the other agenda that becomes normalized is XEX with a, those creatures that run, that go wow, that go bow wow, that go meow, that go moo. Yeah. Now somebody argue, well, people still do that. They still do that. Yeah, they still do it, but it's underground, bro. It's got to be, see, the elites got to push all the most deviant sexual perversions up front, which is a total contradiction of scripture in the Bible, by the way, but that's being spiritual, and I'm digressing a little bit. Once they get past the PD, okay, and that becomes normal, first normalize transgenderism, then normalize PD, okay, then the next one will be, or maybe not in that order, it may be normalize PD, normalize XEX with woof, 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 then normalize PD. But whatever case, normalize XEX with woof, 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 and the meow, meow, and the moo, moo, moo. Make it normal. No big deal. You have your dog next to you. You have your cow next to you. You have your grizzly bear next to you. No big deal. You love them. Yeah, see, y'all think I'm thinking outside the box. But I'm going to tell you something. The way America's going right now, that's what I believe is going to happen. And let me tell you why. One of the reasons why is because back in, and I'm going to be biblical, right? I'm going to get a little biblical. But I'm being biblical because this is part of history. Okay? In ancient pagan times, the ancient pagans, they would indulge in this kind of sexual perversion on a constant basis, particularly within religious circles. And it was considered to be normal. And, and I'm not going to go into the detail here, but it was considered to be normal. It's considered to be part of it. It was considered to be normal. In certain countries, certain sexual activities are considered to be normal even today. Now, what happened to America where we're starting to normalize things that for decades have been considered wrong, immoral? Are we being progressive? Because that's what progressives like to say. We're progressive. I want to slap them in their face. What are we progressing to? No, we're not progressing. We're regressing. We going back to pagan land. America, if it does not change, it's going to be, oh my God. One particular communist said this. He said, I can't remember particularly where he came from. I think it might have been from Russia, communist Russia at one point. But he stated that we're going to make America so corrupt she stinks. Because they're talking about corrupting America from within. We're going to make America so corrupt she's going to stink. And right now, America is stinking. I mean, you hold your nose because they're there. And if we don't straighten it up, and if we don't get it right, and if we don't put some parameters in place, particularly in the areas of legislation, it's going to make you, the stink is going to be so bad, it's going to make you throw up, literally. No one will want to come to America. Why? Might as well stay in the communist countries because America is going to be pure communism anyway if we don't get it together. So why leave a communist country and come to another communist country? Calling itself America. Makes no sense whatsoever. That's what's going to happen if we don't get it together. But let me end the video on this point, and I'll keep saying it. It's up to the people in America to wake up. Wake up. And when it comes time to vote, vote the right people in office that truly care for America, the Constitution, and the people. Get rid of these clowns that don't care about nothing. They nasty, they sick, they evil, And if they don't get it right, there's a place in the lake of fire for them. And that's my word on that. Here, that's what I have to say about that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.